Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, welcome to the channel. In this video today we are going to be going through Tashahhud, part of the prayer where you're going to be sitting down and you're going to be saying certain words in Arabic. And if you don't know how to say this, then it's vital that you learn how to do this as soon as possible, especially if you're new to Islam and you want to be able to do your prayer correctly. If you are new to the channel, then we help people that are new to Islam learn the basics of the religion, and we also go through things like the prayer in Arabic word by word. So if this is the first time that you've come across this channel and you are new to the prayer, then you want to go to my channel and you want to go to the playlists, which I will link in the description, and that will teach you the fundamentals that you need to know prior to this point. So we've already covered the basics of how to actually perform the prayer, and then we've gone through the opening supplication of the prayer, the opening chapter of the prayer, which must be recited every single time you pray. We have also gone through an additional chapter of the Quran, what to say when bowing, standing, prostrating, and now we're going to go through the bit which is called Tashahhud. So it's highly recommended that you go through all of that first, and that's where I'm expecting you to be at this point when we start this video. However, if you just want to jump straight forward to this bit, then that's fine too, because we're still going to be going through it word by word and you should be able to follow along, no problem. So with that being said, let's get to work. Okay, so what you can see on the screen is you're going to be in this position where you're going to be basically sitting down. You're going to be going through today Tashahhud. Okay, if you want to pause the video and you want to read what this means in English, then I highly recommend that you do that. But we're going to go through it in Arabic, so let's go ahead and do that now. So we're going to start with this part here. Okay, I've tried to write it out in English letters for you to help you kind of understand how you're going to be pronouncing this. As I've mentioned in previous videos, you really ultimately need to learn how to actually say the prayer in the Arabic language, and to do that you need to learn each and every single letter, how it should be pronounced, and what are the specific qualities of those letters. So if you are wanting to learn how to read the Arabic language and how to read the Quran, then you can click the link in the description and you can make an appointment with me and I can go through that with you. So let's jump into the first word. So the first word is this one. Obviously in Arabic we're going to be reading right to left. So this is the first word right here. I'm going to look at the Arabic word first, and if you remember from the previous video we have this little W looking symbol, which means that we're going to be doubling the letter essentially. So we're going to be saying atta, atta, atta. Then we're going to say hiyatu, hiyatu, attahiyatu. I put the H in a capital here because it kind of sounds like this. Hiyatu, attahiyatu. So just try your best to try and emphasize that kind of breath sound when you say the H sound. Hiyatu, attahiyatu. And then we're going to say lillahi, lillahi, lillahi. As again we have this like W looking symbol here, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of hold onto the L sound a little bit. Okay, so here we're going to say lillahi. It sounds different from saying lillahi, lillahi. You're just saying it quickly. You're saying lillahi, lillahi. So you don't have to go overboard and like emphasize it too much, especially in this case. You just say lillahi, lillahi, lillahi. Okay, so we're saying attahiyatu lillahi, and then we have and, wa. So this is just wa. Okay, so as we've looked at before, sometimes in Arabic we'll merge words together. So this word is wa, and this word is as-salawatu, as-salawatu. So we have wa and as-salawatu. But as you can see here, the way I've written it, what we're going to do is we're going to merge these two words together. So we're going to say was-salawatu. Instead of wa, as-salawatu, we're going to say was-salawatu, was-salawatu. Okay, so we know how to say wa, and we're going to say salawatu, saw. So this letter here, I've put it in a capital because instead of saying sa, sa, we're going to say saw, saw. Okay, salawatu rather than salawatu. Okay, Like I said, if you don't know the Arabic letters, you might not be able to tell really much of a difference. It might sound the same to you. So obviously you need to kind of learn to read Arabic, and then you'll be able to distinguish the different sounds. But try not to say wassalawatu. Try to imitate wassalawatu. Okay, salawatu. And again, because we've written two letters here, we're saying was wassalawatu rather than wassalawatu. 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 Okay, so I'm maybe emphasizing it a bit more than it needs to be emphasized, but that's how you do it. Wassalawatu. Okay, I'm going to go through this quite slowly in as much detail as possible, because I know when I was trying to learn this back in the day, it was like impossible. You know, I couldn't find anyone who was going through it word by word, and it was very, very difficult. And I'm assuming that you're in that position and that you've not yet come across a video which is actually going to go through it at this pace. Okay, so yes, we're going to go slow, but we want to make sure that we're doing it right, so that we're not accidentally saying the wrong words and accidentally changing the meaning of what we're trying to say. Okay, so at-tahiyatu lillahi was-salawatu. Okay, now we're going to come to the end. So we again have wa, which is and then we have this word at-tayyibat, at-tayyibat, at-tayyibat. And again, what we're going to do here is we're going to join the and the word at-tayyibat. We're going to say wat-tayyibat, wat-ta, wat-ta, wat-tayyibat, wat-tayyibat. So bear with me with the English letters here, okay? But I'm trying to represent what you're trying to say. So we put two T's, so it's like wat-ta, wat-ta. Instead of saying wa-ta, wa-ta, you're saying wat-ta, wat-tayyibat, wat-tayyibat. And again, we have two Y sounds. So it's like tayyi, tayyi. Instead of saying tayyi, tayyi, you're emphasizing, you're doubling the letter essentially. You're saying tayyibat, wat-tayyibat. Okay, wat-tayyibat. And again, the same with this S sound. We're saying ta, ta. So it's kind of like you're trying to say the English T, but it's like a heavier sound in Arabic, this specific letter. So you're saying ta, ta. So you're not saying what tayyibat, what ta, what ta. That's not correct, okay? So try to avoid saying what tayyibat. You want to say what tayyibat, ta, ta. Okay? Yeah, it is tricky, but at this point you're just trying your best to imitate what you can hear, okay? What tayyibat, what tayyibat. And I feel like if I tell you what it shouldn't sound like, then at least you can try to make sure that it doesn't sound like that. So you're not saying watta, and in this word here, was-salawatu, you're not saying was-salawat, was-salawat, that's wrong. Was-salawat, okay? And you're not saying wat-tayyibat, that's wrong. Wat-tayyibat, okay, that's how you want to do it. So let's go over it again. At-tahiyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. Okay, and now we're going to say Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiy. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiy. I'm assuming you're starting to notice these kind of W looking symbols, right? So as we mentioned before, we're kind of doubling letters when we see this symbol. So we're saying Assalamu, 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 Assalamu. Okay? Assa, Assa. Instead of saying Assa, Assa, Assalamu. This is the same when you say Assalamu alaikum. If you meet someone in the street or you meet your friend, you say Assalamu alaikum. You have that doubling sound. Assa. Obviously, you don't want to like hold on to it for too long, so you're not going to be like Assalam. Just Assalamu. Assalam. It's like that, but quicker, yeah? Assalamu. And then we have alayka. Alayka. We've been through this letter here before. Sounds like this. Alayka. Alayka. That sounds different from alayka. So you're trying to make this like sound. Obviously, to an English speaker, it sounds kind of awkward, like we don't have any sound similar to that in English, but this is the sound you want to make. So we're going to say alayka. So layka, that should be easy for you, yeah? Layka is just alayka. So assalamu alayka. Assalamu alayka. Okay? Then we're going to have ayyuha. Ayyuha. So as we've said before, we're going to join this word and this word together. So we're going to say this word first. This word on its own would say ayyuha, ayyuha, ayyuha. And this word on its own, an-nabiyyu, an-nabiyyu, an-nabiyyu. So again, we have these letters, so we're doubling. Ayyu, hanna, biyyu. Okay, ayyuhannabiyyu. So the Y is doubled, the N is doubled, and the Y is doubled again. Ayyuhannabiyyu. So ayyuha and annabiyyu, when joined together, ayyuhannabiyyu. 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 Okay, so that's going to take some practice. Just keep watching the video over and over again, and you just keep going along with me, and trust me, after like a couple of weeks or a month, like you'll be fine. Inshallah, you've got this, yeah? So assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu. So at-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu. Okay, so when we're like halfway through, now we got wa rahmatullahi, wa rahmatullahi. So these two words are joined here. Wa rahmatullahi. Rahma. Rahma. So why have I put the R letter in capitals? Because we're saying ra, ra. We're not saying ra. So try to avoid saying rahma, ra, ra. We want to say ra, rahma, wa rahmatullahi, wa rahma, rahma. And this H sound, again, it has this like sound. Rahma, rahma. Okay, so this one is actually quite tricky, so if you can do that, then you're doing really well. Okay, so wa rahma, wa rahmatu, wa rahmatu. And then we're going to say from this tu here, we're going to say tullahi, rahmatullahi. Now, if you have noticed, if we go back here, this is the name of Allah. This word is called lafzul jalalah, okay? The majestic term, rather than just saying name of Allah, okay? So this is here and here. This one is slightly different. This is lillahi. So when we say la, it sounds light. La, lillahi, okay? But if you can tell the difference the way I'm saying it here, okay? I'm saying Lahi, Lahi, instead of Lahi, which is what we're saying here. Lillahi we're saying Allahi. Okay, so there's a specific reason for why you do that, but I'm not going to explain that. I'm just going to say that ideally that's the way you want to pronounce Allah. Allah. Okay, so you're saying, so it's instead of you're saying okay, so you're saying wa rahmatullahi, wa rahmatullahi, Allahi, wa rahmatullahi. So obviously when you say it quick, like it might not sound so emphasized, right? Because you're going to be saying something like assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so I'm just saying it like overly emphasized so you can try to follow along with me. So we've said wa rahmatullahi, so now we're going to say wa barakatuh, وبركاته وبركاته ورحمة الله وبركاته بركاته to. There's an H sound here that we're pronouncing. I mean, you could say وبركاته if that's better for you, but the way I've written it, وبركاته وبركاته. Doesn't make a difference really if you say وَبَرَكَاتُهُ or وَبَرَكَاتُهُ. It won't change the meaning for you, alright? So, wa ba ra. Again, we're saying ra. We're not saying ra. So we're not saying baraka, baraka, barakatuh. Now we have put two A's here. This is different from the doubling of letters which we looked at before. I'm trying to emphasize here when you say katu. So you're kind of saying instead of katu, you're saying katu. You're kind of going along with the sound just a little bit longer than ka, okay? So you're saying barakatuh, 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 wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, okay? So, التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, so here we go. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. So that last part used to like just, I couldn't figure out how to say that for the longest time. Like I'm talking years. But anyway, let's just do the best that we can. Okay, so I'm going to break it down word by word, vowel by vowel, and then we'll put it all together and inshallah you'll be able to say it. So we have as-salamu. We've been over that, right? As-salamu. We've done that already. So you know how to say as-salamu. Then we have alayna, alayna. So we have again the same sound that we had before. Alayka. Alayka means upon you. Okay? And alayna means upon us. So when we say alayna, we've got two A sounds here. Okay? We want to be specific with pronouncing na. Just drag it on a little bit longer. Instead of na, instead of saying alayna, we're saying na, na, okay? Alayna. So I'm not going to go over this A sound again because we've already been over. So, alayna, assalamu alayna. So, this pronoun means like us. So that's why we want to be specific and not say alayna. We want to say alayna. So just drag it on just that little bit longer to distinguish between na and na. Alayna. Okay? Then we have wa, ala. So this is the same A sound. The a. So ala, ala, the same kind of length on the la, ala. So you're saying علينا وعلى على. Okay, so it goes on just a little bit longer. Instead of وعلى وعلى علينا وعلى. Okay, so السلام علينا وعلى. Okay, then we have عبادي عبادي. So if you've been struggling with this A kind of sound, we have the same letter but it has a different vowel on it. So instead of saying a, it's saying I, I. So instead of saying e, like you would kind of in English, it's that same a sound but it's saying I. عبادي عبادي عبادي. So again we have two A's here, so we're going to say عبادي عبادي. So we have علينا, stretching that A sound. على, again we're stretching the A sound. عبا عبا عبادي. Okay, again السلام علينا وعلى عبادي عبادي. Okay, so we're going to join this to the name of Allah. Allah. Okay, so we're going to say, in this case, عبادillahi. So this is the same way of pronouncing Allah as we did in the beginning. التحيات لله. La. This is the thing that I want to just emphasize, the a sound. Lahi. So we're not in this case now, in either the first one or in this one here. We're saying a, we're not saying ah. So as we said before, we said rahmatullahi. Law. Here we're saying a, okay? As again, I'm not going to explain why that is, but that's just the way you're going to pronounce it. So we're saying here lahi. عبادillahi عبادillahi عبادillahi. السلام علينا وعلى عبادillahi عبادillahi. And we have that doubling L sound. Lahi عبادillahi. Okay, and then we have as-salihin. So as we mentioned, do you remember when we said was-salawatu, was-salawatu? So that saw sound, we have that back here. As-salihin, as-salihin, and it's doubled. Okay, as-sa, as-salihin. So how are we going to put all of this together? This is like 1, 2, 3 words. عبادillahi الصالحين عبادillahi الصالحين عبادillahi 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 الصالحين عبادillahi الصالحين. Trying to repeat it as much as I can to kind of help you get it. I hope inshallah you're finding it useful. Okay, so assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. Yeah, so now that we've done up to there, we're just going to go over this last part, which is the first half of what we're trying to say here. Okay, we have a whole bunch of other stuff that we want to say moving on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just leave it at that in this video, and then inshallah, God willing, I will then complete the video in another one, because otherwise it's just going to take absolutely ages in this one video. Yeah, so what I would recommend is before moving on to that one, you should really like spend at least probably a couple of days to a couple of weeks with finishing off this. So I'll go over that in a sec. Let's just go over the beginning up till now. Yeah, التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. Okay, so now we're gonna say أشهد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. Okay, again here when we're saying Allah, illallah, we're not saying la this time. Okay, ashhadu, and this I put as a small h. Okay, but here you can tell the difference. I'm saying hadu, hadu. It's like a lower frequency sound, hadu, rather than the h that we said before, which is ha, ha. Okay, so that's not the one that we want to say here. We want to say the lower frequency one, hadu. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. So this is probably like a little bit tricky because you're saying la and then you're saying law. So you're saying illallah, illallah. So try your best with the pronunciation because that's really like why we're going through it vowel by vowel, so we can try to perfect this to the best that we can. So we're saying illallah, lallah. So it's going to take a bit of like practice to get your tongue to be able to like make that sound. La law, la law. Okay, so illallah, illallah, illa Allah. It gets joined together. Illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha. Okay, we have these two doubling A's. La ilaha, la ilaha. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, illallah. Okay, try to make this like heavy H sound at the end if you can. Allah, Allah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Okay, now we're going to say the last part of this video, which is right here. Wa ashhadu, which is what we said before when we said ashhadu. Okay, wa ashhadu anna, anna, anna. Okay, so this is a doubling N sound. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan, Muhammadan. So this H should really be written as a capital. This is that sound, yeah? Muhammad. And again, we are doubling the M sound. So we're saying Muhammad, 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 Muhammad. Okay? And we're saying an here. So we're saying Muhammadan, Muhammadan. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan. Okay? Now we're saying abduhu. So this is the a sound that we've been talking about throughout this video. Abduhu, abduhu, abduhu. And again, this H sound is not the sound, it's the lower frequency one. So hu, abduhu, abduhu. Okay? Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, rasuluh, suluh. So this is the lighter sound when you say sa, si, su, su. It's not that heavier sound like when we said salawat, salawat. We're saying su, su. It might sound exactly the same to you, and that's fine, but I'm trying my best to communicate this over a microphone, yeah? So, wa rasuluh, wa rasuluh, wa rasuluh. Okay? Wa ashhadu anna محمدا عبده را not ra, okay, rasuluh. So this is a double, I put two U's, suluh wa rasuluh. And again, it's important to say this like H sound at the end, luh, luh. And that might be tricky, but I feel like if you practice and you copy along with me, inshallah, you'll be able to do it. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. رسوله. Okay, so let's say this part again. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Okay, so let's just go over it one more time from the beginning. And if you have any questions, go ahead and just put it in the comments, because I actually try my best to read all of the comments. And if there's anything that I can kind of clarify, then I'll try my best to do that. Or if you need me to make another video which is clarifying something specific, then just let me know and I'll try my best. This video was made upon request by some of you guys. So yeah, inshallah, let me know anything else that you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this part like maybe 2 or 3 times so that you can listen to it with me, but I'm going to say it quicker and quicker each time, and hopefully after a few weeks you'll be able to get it along with me. Yeah, so التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Okay, so I'm going to go over it 2 more times. I'm going to say it quite fast this time, like the way that you would probably normally say it in your prayer. Okay? التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Okay, التحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. I understand that this is going to be a struggle, but just trust me, this is just part of the journey, okay? So this is part of the exciting bit where you're overwhelmed and everything is new and difficult for you, but after like 6 months or a year, you'll have this down. You'll be able to do it no problem, and inshallah you'll be able to teach it to somebody. So you don't really need to worry too much. Just enjoy the struggle sometimes, you know, just enjoy it as part of the journey. And at the moment it's still like stimulating for you and it kind of exciting and overwhelming. So that's okay. Yeah, just run with it and go through it and just be persistent. Don't give up. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Trust me, you can do this. Everybody is able to do it, inshallah. They just got to put in the effort and the time. Okay, so what we have to do is we need to go over the last part, which I'm not going to cover in this video, but I'll go over it quickly, where you say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. and then we're going to say the final supplication where you seek refuge from 4 things. Okay, so that's really important, and we should make sure that we get that done. Inshallah, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and stay tuned for the next one, where we will have finally, inshallah, God willing, after all this time, completed the prayer. If you have any suggestions or any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. If you want to learn with me how to do this word by word, and you want to actually jump on a call with me, brothers only, then please go ahead and click the link in the description. You can book a call with me, and yeah, it's free of charge, so jump on, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.